Guys, let's move on to our this is more so going to be maybe a spoiler talk about WandaVision. um you guys, episode 4 of WandaVision. Now granted, I didn't do a show last week, so we didn't get to have a spoiler talk about WandaVision season 2, or I'm sorry, episode 3, excuse me. um Season 2. What am I talking about? I'm all over the place. Wow, you guys, I have been loving this show. I have been absolutely loving this show. Now, with episode 4, being that it's already dropped this last Friday, this is a spoiler warning. This is a spoiler warning. We are talking spoilers about WandaVision. So if you don't want to know what happens in WandaVision, if you don't want to know anything from episode 4, if you haven't had a chance to watch episode 4 yet, click away now. This is spoilers for WandaVision. My goodness. Karen Alties just chimed in. Hi, Mike Brown. Hi, Karen. How are you, my love? Wow. Episode 4, you guys. Episode 4 peeled back the curtain, right? So we get an idea. We have a basic rudimentary understanding of what is going on in the world of WandaVision. Wanda, it's becoming clear, has lost her mind. Let me start by talking about towards the end of the episode. This totally caught me by surprise. This was kind of a shock to me when we saw, and I say we have a few new viewers here. So for anyone who's just clicking in right now, this is a spoiler talk for WandaVision. If you don't want to know what's going on with WandaVision, if you haven't had a chance to watch WandaVision, click away now or forever hold your clicks, right? So at the end of WandaVision, we see just a brief glimpse of Vision himself as an animated corpse, dead. A dead animated corpse from Wanda herself. We know that there was it wasn't so much of a deleted scene as a scene that never got filmed in the first place. It was a scene that was written. It was a scene that was conceptualized. It was a scene that never got filmed during the filming of Avengers Endgame. And that scene was Wanda, in her grief, going into the morgue, whether it's the Avengers morgue. I don't know if the Avengers compound has a morgue, but let's just go ahead and say they do. She goes into the morgue and she steals the body of Vision. This is something that we've known for a while, has been a deleted scene because it never got filmed, but it was a scene that never got filmed, right? That was something that the writer, director, producers on the film wanted to put in as a tag, as a post-credits tag, right, for the film. And so there was this theory of like, okay, well, they never filmed it, so maybe this WandaVision reality is something a little different. And then at the end of episode 4, we see the dead corpse of Vision as he really is, and not as how Wanda thinks of him, because, you know, we know how Wanda thinks of him in, all throughout so far. But now we see him for what he really is, a dead corpse. And it was unsettling. It was slightly disturbing. It definitely caught me off guard. And I kind of liked it. I kind of like it's taking Wanda in a very dark direction here. We know that she has set up some kind of a 5-mile radius barrier over the town of Westview. You guys, I'm loving this. Episode 4 was nowhere near long enough for me. As soon as it ended, I turned to Kim and I said, "No, I need more. Oh, I need more. Yes, we need more." Man, it was good. Oh man, it was good. And I can't wait for this upcoming episode coming on Friday, which here's the thing. if you haven't noticed, if you haven't seen already, about 3 hours ago, Marvel themselves, they dropped a mid-season trailer. I've never really seen this before. I'm sure people have done it. I'm sure projects and properties have done it. But Marvel just dropped a mid-season trailer. They give us a little bit more of things to look forward to. We know we have another 5 episodes to go. There we go. 5 episodes to go. So we got another trailer for the second half of WandaVision. I think that's a clever idea. It's a wonderful marketing strategy just to keep the conversation going. What do we think is going on? Now, in the trailer, it looks like, Vision kind of catches on, or rather, Wanda's projection of Vision starts figuring out and becoming wise to what's happening, right? So it makes me wonder, is Vision a projection of her subconscious going on, right? I think that's the case. We know that there's going to be some kind of a, maybe not a boss battle, but like some kind of a fight between Wanda and Vision to try and keep the illusion alive. And then right at the very end of the trailer, we see, I don't know if I can bring this up. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Right at the end of the trailer, we see, was it the end? Maybe not quite. There's one portion. Oh, here we go. There's a portion where we can see kind of like the bubble of like Westbrook, or like this television world of Westbrook, and somebody is coming out of it right there. You can kind of see somebody. It was probably Wanda herself. Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's interesting. It's something that we've never seen before. It's definitely a character piece, but like a really crazy character piece. I love that they're taking the concept of the House of M and doing their own thing. I think we saw this in Civil War as well, where we have the basic concept of what Civil War was about. It was about Iron Man versus Captain America, and not just them, but like the ideology behind it all. What does it mean? Why is this important, kind of thing? And I think we can definitely see that there's a lot of House of M parallels here. House of M is a storyline from the comics. If you're not familiar, just Google House of M. It's just the letter M. House of M. Check it out. Just do Scarlet Witch, House of M. You'll find exactly what it is that we're talking about. Anyway, I know the WandaVision is it's not as divisive, I think, as people want to believe that it is. I think it's getting a more positive reception than people would want you to believe. I think this is a wonderful show. I'm loving it. I've heard, and I've seen other critics and film commentators talk about like the structure of it and saying like, okay, the first 2 episodes were interesting, and then the 3rd episode, okay, we see what you're doing here, we get it, and obviously the 4th episode like revealed all, well, kind of, and people would have, I think the general vibe in the room is that they would have liked to have like the lid peeled off much earlier, maybe like halfway through through episode 2. I love how this is playing out. I really do. I love the structure of this. I think it's really clever. I think it's very smart. It's very, very different, and I like that. I like how different this is and how different it feels. But it also, yes, it feels different. But it also feels familiar, and it feels the same. It doesn't feel like a watered down version of the MCU to me. I was afraid that it was going to. And who knows? It might still. Like, there's still plenty more. Like, we still have the 80s sitcom to go through, the 90s sitcom to go through, and then, like, the Modern Family, like, the 2000s style sitcom to go through. I think those are going to be really, really interesting episodes. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the rest of this. Nikki Matthews, my first original best friend. First of all, from my childhood, Nikki, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Nikki Matthews says, WandaVision is my current favorite thing. Right? We have been in a state of needing more right now, right? This is something that Kim and I talk about all the time, is that the movies and television shows coming out right now are such heavy dramas, and I'm not opposed to heavy dramas. Bring them on. A heavy dramatic film or story or television show, I think, can be thought-provoking. It can be very interesting. It can shift your worldview. They can even, dare I say, be fun. But the types of dramas we've been getting right now are very low, like the acclaimed type ones, right? Oh, you have to watch this one. And there's like White Tiger. We just watched White Tiger last night on Netflix. And White Tiger, while it's a good movie, it's a good story. It's an interesting story. My goodness. The movie's 2 hours long, and everything that happens in that movie from start to finish feels like it could take place in the first 30 minutes of the film. In the first act, that the entire movie could be the first act of a film, because it feels like there's so much more. There's a bigger story. They ended on this note of like, oh, this was what he was getting at the whole time? Okay. Why did it take so long to get here? And it's not even that compelling. Like I said, the entire movie of White Tiger should have only been the first 30 minutes of the story, and then take us on the next chapter of this guy's adventure, right? Character development is few and far between right now in storytelling. In like the COVID world storytelling, from what I've noticed, it just seems like a lot of the movies and television shows that we're getting right now, especially movies, are the ones that would not have been, they would not have performed very well in theaters. And the studios can kind of afford to, let it go. And that's what we're getting a lot of right now. And Nikki, to your point about WandaVision, that this is your current favorite thing, it is my current favorite thing too. Because yes, it's familiar, but also it has a fun it was also designed for television. It was designed for If it was designed for the movies, it would have been pushed back even further. Look at Black Widow, keeps getting pushed back, right? It needs to make a return on its investment. And WandaVision was designed for Disney Plus. Same thing with Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was designed for Disney Plus. And Loki, designed for Disney Plus. Which is, look at HBO Max. That's why they're in such a kerfuffle right now over all these movies with Legendary and like other Warner Brothers pictures with like very famous directors' names attached to them. HBO Max and Warner Brothers, they're in a lot of hot water right now because they're trying to do what Disney Plus is doing, or they're trying to do something clever, and it's not working out for them at all. But with Disney Plus, we get this vehicle that was designed as this specific type of vehicle, right? And it's fun. It knows what it is. It's lighthearted. It's telling a very specific story. Yes, with characters that we're already familiar with, but it's still taking the time to develop these characters. It's still taking the time to develop these characters and to make us care about them. Yeah, great. We already saw them in a tag from was it Captain America: The Winter Soldier, We saw them first in a tag in the Winter Soldier, and then in Avengers Age of Ultron, and then Captain America Civil War, and then Avengers Endgame, and then Avengers Infinity War, and then in Endgame. We've seen them a good amount, but now we're like delving into more of their character and who they are, and the commercials. If you stop and look at the commercials and start adding up all the commercials together, like in the first 3 episodes, they mean something very, very specific in terms of who these characters are and what their, specifically Wanda, and what her trauma is. It's so interesting. The first commercial was about the Stark toaster, right? And it represents the missile that blew up her home that killed her parents. And she and her brother Pietro were just waiting for that missile or that bomb to go off. And it never did. So trauma number 1. Trauma number 2. Baron von Strucker. It was the commercial for the watch, remember? And it was like a Hydra watch or whatever. She and her brother Pietro were experimented on in a laboratory and given powers. Trauma number 2, right? And then we fast forward to the 3rd episode of WandaVision, where that commercial was all about like escape, just forget the past and live in the now, or like create. I can't create your own. Oh, what was it? Create your own paradise, is something along those lines, right? And it also had some strong Hydra ties into it, right? Well, look at what she's doing with Westview. This could very well be trauma number 3 here, and this is how she's expressing that. Anyway, yes, Nikki, my very first friend on planet Earth, I agree with you. This is my favorite thing currently right now as well. Anyway, guys, we could go on and talk about so many other different things about WandaVision and the episodes. I'm very much looking forward to the next installment, episode number 5. I think they're going to have some pretty cool things up their sleeves, and exciting and interesting and thought-provoking, and I think we're going to be taking on a journey. Still, I think it's going to be awesome. Question is for you guys. What do you think of WandaVision episode 4? Do you have any other theories? I mean, like, we haven't even started talking about, like, Agatha Harkness and whether or not she is the character being played by Catherine Hahn. We know that Catherine Hahn's photo was the only one that didn't have a driver's license attached to it in episode 4, when the Sword was going through and looking at everyone's bios and whatever. There's a lot of other secrets. There's a lot of other secrets coming. Also, did you catch the drone that went into the Vision bubble? I don't know what else to call it. The WandaVision bubble. The drone that went in there, it was done up in the color scheme of Captain Marvel. A reference to both Captain Marvel and to Monica Rambeau herself, the original Captain Marvel. Not the original Captain Marvel. That was played by a dude, but it's complicated. Read the comics. Look it up. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, jump down to the comment section below. And what did we not talk about today regarding WandaVision? I want to know down in the comment section below. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share, because that is exactly what the golden idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark would want you to do. Whoosh, whoosh.